Hi, my name is James Orvis, and in this tutorial we're going to be taking a closer look at the glide feature that you get on a lot of synths or all synths, and just want to show you how we can use that effectively. It's really cool little thing to use in sounds. I'm going to show you 5 examples of where I would tend to use the glide, and hopefully give you some inspiration if you're not using it that often. I'm sure you all are, but like it's quite cool sometimes to just like focus in on one tool on a synth and just kind of see what we can do with it. So let's get stuck straight in. So I've got a few different synths, VSTs set up, and just got like 5 different things that I'm going to show you. And the first one is an extreme glide, so it's like gliding between 2 or more notes in a sequence, like really kind of long glide. And the best example I've heard of this recently, apart from like Stefan Bodzin, is Patrice Baumel's track, which was called Glutes. And I think I've pretty much kind of replicated the Glutes notes here. Might be out of key, but it sounds very similar. So I'll just quickly show you how to do this. It's really easy. Once you've got your few notes together, or you could just play it on a keyboard. If you just go to like in any synth, go to the play settings in this one. So we've got the glide here, and we can switch glide on, or we can set it to like legato and stuff using the modes. And then what I've done is put it in mono, set it to always, and then I push this up all the way up to 1.44 seconds. That's a pretty long glide. I'm going to play this for you now, show you what it sounds like. Just bear in mind that these notes take quite a while to come in, so just bear with that. We just need a beat now. But yeah, that's basically what you can do then is once you've got your beat going, you can time those. So there's a few ways to do it. You can do it by pulling back and forth the MIDI notes themselves. Obviously, because the glide, this note might not really come in until around this area. So you might want to kind of nudge them back. And in conjunction with that, you can also tweak the glide time as well. Another cool thing to do is maybe set the glide time up to a macro and play around with that. So you might have a sequence where you've got some shorter notes and some long notes, and you can flick between, which brings me on to the next examples, because we've got like selected notes and long and short. So instead of having to glide all the time, you can have it running just on specific notes. And the way I've done this is I'm using Serum this time. And if we go to the voicing section at the bottom, instead of having always switched on like we did on the last synth, we just got it set to mono and brought the portamento up. So what this does is it listens out for MIDI notes that overlap. So when you have 2 notes playing like this, so that note comes in and then this one carries on a little bit, and that initiates the glide. So you can be selective which notes you want to glide basically. So let's play this. I'm using a preset for this one from one of our packs called Container. And just quickly, the last synth, if you wanted that bass sound, it's also in one of our packs, so it's number 10. It's called Kraken. Forgot to mention that before. So yeah, we're using this one, Container. I really like this sound for this. And I've just got this sequence running here. So what we've done there is this note, and this note always reset, so they're not gliding. So you get like more of a punch on the note itself. And this note as well. So it's this note, this one, and this one. I think that's it. Yeah, just those ones. These ones, so this one, and this one glide. So they glide off the note previous to it. So you've got that one, which is a cool one to do. And I've also used this example again, but selected notes, but in a short example to help develop a groove. And one of the best examples I think of for this kind of thing is when you use a 303. So I've got this 303 pattern. So the reason behind this, like, reason why I'm showing this one is because the slide function on the 303 is like a massive part of the 303 sound, of that acid sound. And you can use the 303 without using the slide, but it's just not the same. I feel like you have to always chuck a couple in there, but you don't have every note sliding. It's only selected notes, and the 303 makes it super easy to do this, whether you're in pattern mode or classic in this VST. You've got a little slide button there, so you can select which notes you want to slide. So as you can see on the bottom row, I've selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes out of the 14 because I've got 2 switched off on the gates. So yeah, 7 notes out of 14, so half the notes are sliding and half the notes are not. And yeah, it's really, really kind of cool to kind of use it to get like really nice bouncy grooves. I'll tell you what, as an example, let's switch these off. And this is what it would sound like without them. It's just not the same, is it? Like with those slides, it really, really creates a sense of like movement and groove. So it's, the highlight of that point is that you can use these to create really, really interesting grooves. So in this next example, we're going to be using the Mini Moog from Arturia, so it's just the Mini V3. I've just set up a simple sub patch on there from the default, and it sounds like this. So what I've done here is just simply drawn out my MIDI notes for the pattern, but instead of leaving them all just as like kind of single notes, I've made sure that the synth glides between every note. So it's just a continuous pitch glide between the different notes instead of like stop and start notes. And what I've done here is basically just gone to the glide section, which is here, and you can tweak this. That might work quite nicely. So what you get now is you're getting like this kind of detuned sound as well, where the notes, if you push it quite far on, they're never quite hitting where it needs to sit. So it's really cool for techno, because I mean, like a lot of techno stuff, like it doesn't always have to sit perfectly on the notes. You can kind of glide between notes and stuff like that. And another thing that I'd recommend is, because we're doing extreme glides, you might want to go in and nudge these over with the kick to kind of get them to sit nicely. Because like I said in a previous example, that the notes gliding, it might not reach this note till like this point or something like that, so you might want to nudge them back. Alternatively, you can just go to the track delay and just nudge them that way, and just do it by ear till it kind of sits right. So that's really cool one to experiment with, and you can use any kind of synth for that. Just bring the filter right down so it becomes a sub. So for this next example, we've done 4 bass examples, but then I wanted to do a bonus one, which is an effects. And I was digging around our pack for the Jupiter AV just for some like effects type sounds, and I wanted to apply loads of portamento to it. So I've got number 116 in the effects section called Ravers from our pack, and what I've done is put the portamento right up there. So what you can do is you get these massive long slides that sound like this. Let me just unsolo this one. So with that, you can create build-ups with that. You can create drop-down moments, so you could kind of bring it down into a break and then build it back up again for later on. Also, like I did there, you can do like patterns with it, so you can like do kind of like stagnated kind of patterns, and just going with a groove where it's just constantly bending up and down. You can experiment with that quite a lot. So I mean, we've got like a lot of effect sounds in here. and you can just put the portamento up on most of them. And just play with the gliding up and down and use that in builds. And that brings me to the end of the tutorial. Hope you found this useful and it's give you a little bit of inspiration to go away and apply some glide to your next track. If there's any questions, please drop them below. If there's any tutorials that you'd like us to cover in future, also let us know that as well. My name is James Orvis. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.